Take us live. Tell you what, I had to run out though. And we have bacon out there. Okay, good. Perfect. Got it. All right. All right. We are ready to go. Now that we have all of our technical difficulties figured out, I hope. Oh, Bonnie, can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. I was afraid maybe it did whatever it did again.
No, I just had to deal with an issue that was here. That's all.
No worries. All right. So you guys are ahead of the game a little bit, but you already know why all that's important. Getting clear on what you want. I have been doing some detox. Actually, my daughter-in-law Faye is going to be doing this with us, but they just left, so she's driving home and couldn't join us tonight. But she has been helping me do some extra special detox because, well, what we've been running into is things where, like, consciously I've been saying, okay, this is what I want to do. I know this is what I need to do. But the subconscious programming is just stuck in my body. Kind of like having a suitcase that you can't ever get rid of. You set it down and try and leave it someplace, and next thing you know, you're holding on, or the same stuff is in a backpack that you're wearing. The stuff gets stuck in your cells. And one of the things that, as things have come up, we've talked about is how your subconscious doesn't discriminate what's right and wrong or good or bad. It just says, this is what is. This is what is for us to survive. And you go through, life's basically just traumatic. It just is. And so you find things that work and they get you through, and your subconscious says, oh, well, it got us through, so this must be a good way to do it because we survived. And then there comes a point where that doesn't help you survive anymore, or it's not going to help you thrive going forward, but it's stuck. That's your programming now. So that's part of the whole detox thing, at least for me this time, and how I'm guiding it, is letting go of what no longer served you, taking a minute to breathe. We can reprogram. And that's why I wanted to make sure that everybody did the where do you want to go and did that work and find your 5 words and describe your hero, because that's setting where you want to be. And even though your subconscious is going to throw stuff up, and knowing that it's going to, and that's part of the cleaning out process. So if you don't know what to expect, you're going to get the same result, but your expectations will guide your outcomes. So I am thrilled that you guys were ahead of the game and went and did that already. What did you discover as you went through the what do you want stuff, worksheets?
For me, as you know, since I started, it's mostly to be about losing the weight and trying to keep it off once I do lose it. And it's been a struggle, but I've noticed that this time I seem to be a little bit more focused on actually giving up things, older habits. such as the coffee, the sweets. I've been doing the same thing with the sweets. I've noticed I'm doing less of that as well. Had to hide them I had to hide them all because everyone was buying stuff and bringing it in. And, my other one, he buys stuff and then he don't eat it and he'll send it to Bryce. And it's like, I got all this sweets. It's like, he don't even need this. It's like, just hide it, put it away or give it away. But yeah, I've noticed that I seem to be a little bit more focused on losing a little bit more now that I've lost some, that it's more of a kind of thing for me. So it's like, all right, I'm getting it. It's working. I want to see a little bit more. Let's take on the next step. So for me, that's what I found is I was actually getting more in tune with what my body's telling me, because I'm also feeling the heaviness of certain foods, where before I just thought I was full, not actually realizing that fullness was a heaviness saying, you shouldn't have ate it. So yeah. My mind is changing in that way. So that way I can understand what, the tummy actually wants and what the rest of the body needs for nourishment. So.
Yeah. That discernment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did that go? There were the two things that went together. And discernment and letting go. Those were the two, as part of this week's lesson for clearing your external space, starting with the detox on your external space. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I bet that letting go thing's been going through my mind a lot too, because I'm actually been counseling a friend of mine who has been going through some tough times right now, and she don't know where she's going to go. So I've been trying to counsel her a little bit, telling her not to worry so much, let things go. So teaching her that, I'm learning it as well. And I thought I already knew it, but obviously not enough, or not in the areas I needed to. So
yeah.
Was one of them. Detox was another one. Go and detox were just two things that kept coming up even before we started talking about this. And it's like, it's time for a detox. I know it is. I could feel it is. And then you popped up saying, let's get ready for one. Cool. Yes, here we go.
Yeah. Well, and you must be ready to let go, because that's. Uh-oh. Let's see, guys, I'm going to switch. It keeps freezing up. I don't think you are. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, because what you need comes up when you need it. So discernment and letting go. What came up for you? What did you notice, Alyssa?
So it's kind of weird. But I was going through my 5 words that describe me in 3 weeks. We're going on vacation, which we have not done as obviously a family with George. So this will be entertaining. But I was trying to think of things that would be those kind of words, because that's where I'll be in 3 weeks, whether I like it or not. And one of them that came up that is interesting and kind of very, it's not related, but it's actually really hugely related. Trusting. I don't trust that I can actually relax, I think, at all. And I just do things all the time. And so when I'm not in charge of, the animals in 2 weeks for 10 days, this might give me heart failure. I don't know. But I want to be able to be organized enough that I can just relax and let that happen. Because my neighbors are there all the time watching them. It's not like they're going to be fine. It's just me obviously being worried about the change in routine. But that was one that was kind of interesting. And I wondered too, then, if that's why I keep so much stuff around all the time, because I don't trust that either it'll be there when I need it. And the stupid part about that is it's never there when I need it. Then if there's so much clutter that I can't actually access things, yeah, too much clutter. or that like, I don't know. It was just it was kind of a tangential thought that was kind of deeply rooted in probably why I'm so disorganized all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an
I can so
interesting,
relate.
yeah. I call it the pack rat's revenge. When
Yes.
you go through and you clean everything out, and then 3 months later you need it.
You know what you
But-
needed, and you're like, oh yeah, I would have had this, but you know, I actually wouldn't have had it because it's stuffed in a box I don't know about right now. So
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Yeah. And did you, because I'm hearing it, and I wonder if you saw it, that the external is reflecting the internal,
yes.
and at the
Oh,
same time reinforcing it. Like it's a
Yes.
two-way.
and I don't remember where maybe it was this group. It was something about when you have habits, your body physically rejects the positive change. So like you have to make a physical decision to continue doing what you're doing, knowing that it's going to be hard for a while to make that a good habit until your body recognizes that is something you have to keep doing. Oh yes, I should be, eating healthy, or hey, my sleep schedule shit again. You need to get back on the bandwagon and actually get to sleep at a consistent time. Or like one of my questions with the nourishing myself, have I actually even eaten yet today? Gee, you're grouchy. Maybe you need food. So, I mean, we've been adjusting schedules. The last month has been kind of crazy with changing schedules. And so it's back to we don't have a set routine again, which is really hard for little man to deal with. And that in tune makes everybody
Yeah.
rough. But it keeps us in line too.
Yeah, yeah. But you realize too how much that routine, even though you're an adult and
yes.
you can swing with it better, you function better when things are at least semi-predictable and routine.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of decisions off your plate. So you got time for the decisions that are important and that really matter. Yeah. Yeah. That is a thing. It's an interesting thing when you layer the whole idea of Lent on top of the seasonal detox.
Yes.
Because Lent is a time where you give up something, right? You let it go as a spiritual practice. And a lot of times people do that with food.
Yes.
Because food is it really is a spiritual practice. Eating is, because it's about life.
Yes.
And I have yet to hear a pastor preach a sermon on, eating at church, but but it is. And what you nourish yourself with and how often and all of that. But it's very common in a lot of religions to have a time of fasting as a spiritual practice of cleansing going into a main celebration.
Yes.
Like Passover or Easter, however you do that. Yeah, I just had a brain fart, but yeah, it's a time having that lack of clutter around, getting rid of things. It's good on a lot of levels, clarifies. And as you get rid of things, you learn about that trust thing and that having space thing. I read in A Light in the Forest. It's a classic, if you ever get hold of that book. And one of the things that the Indians did is understand that in living season to season and not having huge storehouses, but providing for everybody, they were trusting that the Great Spirit would always provide for them. And that was a really profound thought, and thinking about letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore. And, as a pack rat of sorts myself, trusting that if I give it away or get rid of it, if I need it, it will come.
Yes. Yes, that's what I have to remember, that you got it once, somebody else is using what you have, you weren't using it before, put it where it needs to be and be done with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is on a number of levels, not just, clearing the closets or getting rid of the boxes in storage or in the corner or wherever they are. Yeah.
We're getting ready to remodel.
When you want to
And we've been packing up boxes and putting them out to the shed, and now my shed's full and I still got all the stuff yet to go. It's like, yep, it's time to just give stuff away. But
Yeah.
I discovered that bathroom really is not as big as I really need it. So Brian and I are kind of discussing whether or not I should turn the old living room back into a living room or or turn it into a craft room. I'm kind of losing the battle here, so I guess I might stay with my little tiny dinky craft room.
Yeah. So looking at your space, and as soon as you clear it, it becomes open for other possibilities, right? And opportunities.
Oh yeah, I'm mapped out in my head how I really want to be able to do it. I mean, I could put all the pictures up on the wall that I intend to do, plus have this couple spaces of hanging, kind of like she has behind, Alyssa has behind her with the storefront, and do that kind of thing, and just have all kinds of space. But
Yeah.
This is a
He's-
long
he's-
time coming.
I
I
mean,
don't know if
dressers
you
and
guys
stuff-
remember this store when I first started talking to you guys here a couple years ago, when I would sit with all the stuff behind me, the clutter and everything. We've made a huge dent. Speaking of decluttering here, we've moved things around.
Yep,
It's open now,
that's what I'm trying to be able to do with the living room.
but it was a long
Cool.
time coming. So that's what I need to
Yeah.
do to the house, definitely.
Yeah. And as you get the external in order, the internal comes into order too. And yeah, absolutely. Bonnie, as you look at your space, what were your 5 words?
Oh gosh. Gosh, my 5 words, I didn't really look at it as far as space goes. I just figured healthier, and lighter, slimmer, and as far as colors, it was blues. Then the other one is I just got be able to tell everybody what I've done and how I've done it. Not so much a word, but a sentence. So explaining, maybe.
What about open?
Yeah. Yep. Open, spacey, airy, fresh.
And you know what? You just described it. So wipe healthy off your list and put those words in. Because those are way better than, they're more descriptive than, like, that's what healthy is to you. How does that sound?
Yeah. So then bright. I like that better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then, yeah. And then you have an external that matches your internal. And that can play back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. And you have a guide too for what your body will feel like. Light, airy, bright. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. So what's one small area do you guys, are you tackling? Bonnie, you're tackling your whole living room area. Sounds like.
Well, actually, the whole house. Well, at least this one whole end of the house, part of the other end, because we're going to do linoleum back there in the laundry room, and we're talking about doing the carpeting in the master bedroom, one of the Bryce's bedroom, the living room, dining room area, and possibly this room here. So yeah, we're talking about doing a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can afford to do it once, but we'll hope.
Yeah. Well, a piece at a time, it'll come.
Yep.
Yep. And the expectations guide the outcome. So if you throw the expectation out there, it'll come. And you get your nice, light, bright, airy house. Yeah. What are you tackling, Alyssa?
Our van, which in theory, I would have gotten paid a few years ago, 4 hours worth of work to do the van, like start to finish, but it's taken me 2.5 weeks to do anything on the van. I finally did one thing on it today, but we'll be working on that this week. That's my goal, so that we can have the van nice for when we drive down to Florida. So it won't be ridiculous.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And it feels good and clean. You're on an adventure, but it's comfortable.
Yes, definitely.
That is a good one. Actually, that was one of my things that I upgraded when I first started, because I've been working with this concept for a while before I introduce it to you guys. And my van was one of those things. It was dinged up and dashed up, and the inside was okay, but the outside had been rather abused. And a minivan just doesn't present a professional image when you're going out and doing business things and whatnot. So yeah, that was one of the things. Now we have a vehicle payment and a way more expensive car insurance, but we've upgraded to something that is more reflective of the professional image that we want to be. So it'll grow to match, but that was the thing. It was like, okay, we got to make this long trip down to Texas, and we're showing up as the experts. Will the van make it, number one, at 250,000 miles? And is this how we want to look, number two? We wanted the external to match the internal. So we showed up there as the experts, and we're very proud of it, and it makes a difference. Yeah, and if you go in something that you're comfortable riding in and that you enjoy riding in, you might relax and have more fun and trust your van.
Yeah, that's on Chris's list, and now it's on record. Those brakes need to be done before we leave. But one thing at a time. He bought the brakes 2 weeks ago. But we got the goat pen built, so that's one step at a time. Can only nag so much.
Right.
Nagging doesn't
right.
get you very far anyway.
Just add stress. As long as it's done before you get in to leave.
That's it.
The night
That's
before,
I don't even care as long as it's even an hour before we're gone. As long as we're not fighting about doing it, it's fine. Oh well.
Right. That's part of the trust thing.
Yes. It is. It's the whole thing was all about trust, and I didn't get there until the last word on the fifth thing. So it's fine, but we got there.
Yeah. It's an awesome aha, and you'll watch that play out. Letting go.
Well, I I wonder if I use that tactic that you're using to get for the vehicle that you just got. If I use that on Brian, if he'll okay to go get one. I've been wanting to get a vehicle. What you see my little red car? The thing is compact. It's hard for me to get in, let alone anybody else taller than me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So,
Bigger vehicle.
right.
No. I don't want a car payment. I don't want to have to pay the insurance. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
like
you
you can't
start
afford,
looking.
but you know.
Yeah. Keeping your words in mind. And, right now, everything costs. But applying your 5 words, your upgrade to your external environment and what you need. And it'll show up. Yep. It will.
Good point.
Yeah. And the other trick with guys, though, is telling them how great they look and how comfortable they will be and how safe they will feel with their family,
That's the
Well, there's
spinning.
one
guys.
vehicle.
That's it.
There's one vehicle that I'm not even sure what type of it was, but he says it is like an SUV type vehicle. And he's interested in it because he actually witnessed and he was the first one at the scene of an accident, and this vehicle rolled over 3 times and everyone survived.
Holy cow.
And they were all okay, just shaken up. And he's like,
Yeah.
what kind of vehicle? I mean, he waited until like the next day to talk to him when they called him to thank him for being there. And he asked him, he says, what kind of vehicle is it that you have? He says, I want one. But I don't remember what he said it was. But yeah, this thing took a beating and everybody was fine. And very fortunate. Very fortunate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, there you go. You're on the road already, Bonnie. Yeah, it'll come. See, the universe already knew and anticipated your need. And one will show up. Brian will find one.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's the fun part of this that I have loved. And why I want to take you guys on this part of the journey with your external environment. And as you upgrade, you'll find that it spills over. When you start with one small thing, then it's the next thing. And then it's the next thing. I have to clean my office corner where I sit down and do my checkbook because I hate doing it. And I've never loved doing my checkbook. But if that corner was tidied up and all my files put away, so like you're saying, Alyssa, I have a system. I'm an organized messy. And as that goes, it's about 50-50 right now. So it's not too bad, but it could use a little organization, throw some things away. So I need to clean out my files, get rid of school stuff that I'm never going to do with the boys. It just is.
I think that's one of those trust things again. You got to trust that they'll learn it somewhere if it needs to be taught. That's hard.
Yes.
Really hard.
True story. Words of wisdom, and yours is only a year old, but yeah, that's going to be my thing. And part of it is because I need to upgrade my financial management. We've got different things coming in and get ready to manage more. So I need to have my corner clean.
We just downloaded the app.
Right.
From Dave Ramsey.
Which app?
There's an app. Chris had it on his phone, so maybe I can find it and figure it out. But it's got all sorts of stuff. You can like set funds and all sorts of things. He's been really enjoying that. But maybe I can forward it on.
Huh. Yeah, that would be
interesting. Because it sounds like an app.
Would...
Sounds like you need an app. That would save your whole space. There's an app for
Well,
that.
no, I still have all the business books on the
Oh,
desktop.
that's fair.
Yeah. But, and I would actually be interested in that. Because you do so much on the fly, you know? And
Yes.
I'm using my phone more as a tool, and apps are awesome.
Well, and his whole thing
So-
is like you balance the budget to a 0. And then like we were saying, the solid B minus. So sometimes you have to bounce that, but then you can figure out where that was and adjust then for next month and things like that too.
Right.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, especially as, I don't know
Mhm.
about you guys, but my bills are pretty dynamic.
Mhm.
I've had a couple surprise charges. Our prices have increased. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, that would be, yeah.
Because then you can
your
say like, oh, I
external
have
envi-
$50 today. And then you can say, yeah, I want to put that in a fund for whatever, my slush fund. And then you have a slush fund for, when the dumb animal sticks his leg through whatever, and you need to call the vet 3 times and it's whatever. But you can set up different
Right.
funds then too.
Yeah, yeah. And all these things spill over. So we'll be going through Saturdays. It should open up the next lesson. I haven't gone into double check in my covert student mode to make sure it's going to function right. But what we're doing next is moving inside. So this week yet, working on the outside. Saturday, we'll start working on the routine and diving into that and start bringing it in. But it's always easier to start on the outside, start on something else, right? That's not quite so personal. Like a van,
Yes,
it's
like
not
the bank.
personal. So,
Needs to be clean. It's just the way it
Yeah.
is.
right. And it feels so much better.
It does.
And it's funner
Not
to
carrying
drive.
around some extra stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or that clean
Definitely.
desk when you can just sit down and say, hey, I need to actually write this note to myself or put that in my book. That's a big key. When I start
Right.
to lose keys in the house, that's when I need to reorganize the kitchen. If I set down the keys anywhere but on the hook, as soon as you walk in the door, then I know I'm needing to purge things. It's been long
It's-
overdue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And you just start
Yeah.
going to it. Yep. And it usually ends up that I know, I hope I'm not tattling with Andrea, that her Mark loves to clean. And she lets him. And so that's how they kind of maintain some of that balance.
Yeah, Chris does.
Yeah.
Chris does not
Same
like
way.
spray.
He does.
Yeah.
My sister
My
doesn't
Mark-
have to do any house cleaning. I'm like, man, lucky you.
Oh my goodness.
Well, she had a really
Oh.
bad car accident several years ago, and I guess it was pretty bad, and he's been doing it ever since. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's how their team works.
Jill, I wanted to share something with you that the Native American Herbalist Bible.
Oh, very cool.
Ooh. Huh.
I just got this
That
like
looks-
2 days ago.
You'll have
And
to.
It says the only and forager guide to native herbs and wildflowers you'll ever need to craft traditional herbal remedies. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. Identification, pictures, and all kinds of stuff. Cool. There gives me another reference book.
Yeah, more books. Huh. That's not even on my list of things to clean up, but it is on my like long list.
Yeah.
Go through the books again. I've been accumulating them. So, yeah, because I have a desire to learn. So that internal desire to learn is manifesting as books and things that I need to read. So I need to keep them tidy and orderly so that I can move through them in a somewhat organized fashion, perhaps. Yeah. So any other questions or thoughts?
Oh, papayas are
Nope,
stupid
not
expensive
this time.
now.
Papayas.
Yeah, I went to buy a papaya.
Yeah.
It was like $13 to something a pound. I was like, when did this happen? Maybe it was the organic one, but still, I've never spent $13 on a papaya. So Chris was like, you're
Yeah.
going to start a garden this year. I was like, maybe. I did join a co-op.
Which is a good thing. That's
Yeah.
if you can't do it yourself for whatever reason, you're too busy, you got babies that eat the dirt instead of the plants, or just pull the plant, help you too much.
Yes.
Support somebody else who is doing it responsibly. Because I do feel like the chaos in the world is indicative of the chaos, the internal, and all of the things that are crazy out there. So part of being prepared and surviving that is just bringing it into what is orderly and what is working, and focus on that stuff and exploit that stuff, like
Yes.
co-ops
Definitely.
and ducks in your backyard. And
My ducks will never
We're
be
getting
in the house. But in my backyard, yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing the seed exchange again, Bonnie. So I
Yeah,
have to come check it
that.
out. Yeah, it's oh, and there's Andrea.
Yay.
Gonna come sit down.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
hoping to.
It's
make it.
April
I'm
6th.
not sure
So
yet.
you have to put that. Yeah. Hello, Andrea, you made it. Yay.
What have I missed so far?
Our 5 words. We did our 5 words. That's okay. These guys they get the A for the day. They both did the homework.
Oh, nice.
Never happens that way.
Oh, well, I'm inspired.
Yep. So the 5 words, and looking at external environment and those words, applying them to your external environment, and how that brings it into the inside as well,
Okay.
and what you're wanting out of life.
Mhm.
So that's like the Reader's Digest thumbnail.
All right. See you later.
Yeah. Well, we were actually getting ready to be about done. So
Ah,
yeah.
it is
Yeah.
that time. Oh, my word.
Yeah. So
All right.
yeah. So what are
I'll go
you
do my
working
homework.
on? Yeah, what are you working on tidying this week? What's your external detox?
Yeah, right. Awareness that I was gonna tidy up. Today, I actually took my commutes without any radio or music or news.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
Good for you.
some silence, just letting my brain roll over things instead of shoving it, just good, right? Gotta kind of like process things rather than always numbing myself with information and entertainment, right? So I started there. I thought that was a good first step.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes from there.
It's a making of space. I loved how you said
I was
you-
going to say, it is space.
Yeah.
Mental space.
Yeah,
That's huge.
that's kind of what I was going for there. I was like, what can I do now before I even do anything else? And I did kind of skim through your agenda for the 4 weeks, and I skimmed through the lessons. I was like, okay, I don't have to dive like full on. We're gonna wade into this and start with making space. So I was like, where can I start? And then I also remembered like, oh, I've been trying to get to bed at 9:30 every night or 9, trying to back it up from the 11 o'clock that it was for a while, which is not like me at all. So that's my other creating space, is space for sleeping.
Nice.
So yeah, I've been
Yeah.
learning, sorry, one more thing. I've been learning Dutch with Duolingo
Oh, that's awesome.
on my phone because I'm Dutch and I don't know any Dutch. So I was like, all right, I need to learn some Nederlands. And it's a little addicting because Duolingo is set up like a game.
That's what my mom says.
Yeah, so I need to watch myself
Super.
at night. What, Bonnie?
I said we use that app too for Bryce's Spanish lessons.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So anyway. Gotta
The
watch my
Duo?
late nights.
It's it's fun when you're saying, I have to stop learning my second language or third language for you. Yes.
Something like, I don't know if I'd quite, yeah, I'm a wannabe for sure.
Yeah, well,
But
you know
It
it,
is
you know
fun.
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
So
All right.
cool. Hey, I wanted to let you guys know the 9th of April. Faye is going to be joining us, Andrea, my daughter-in-law, for you guys in this. We traded. She's helping me detox some really super stuck stuff. In exchange, I invited her to this because I'd really love to see her share more of this with her people. And because she wants to learn. But she is going to be on for our office hour, April 9. So
What time is that?
8:30. So it's 7:30 for Alyssa. Early, but
It's okay.
not
We're
too
awake.
unreasonable. It's a little unreasonable for Bobby, but yeah.
right.
So, and I asked her
No
to
guarantee, but I wrote it down.
Yeah, I
Might
asked
not
her
be
to
home.
talk about using food to build your body back because that's what she has been doing. And I'm going to invite a few other people in that I know will be interested in that in particular. But
Cool.
yeah, because at that point we'll be starting to think about deep diving detox and then bringing it back out. But we talked about it a bit in Kitchen Medicine, but she's a recovering vegan and has used food to rebuild her badly depleted body from that extreme to now having gotten pregnant and having a fairly healthy pregnancy. She feels good and strong as long as she's not throwing up. So,
No, that about sums it up, huh, George?
yeah. So, yeah. So we'll be at that point. So we'll have an office hour. So if you can't make stuff, then you can catch up with us there too. And hopefully Alyssa will catch us on Saturday if she doesn't make it to our Tuesdays, because I know it's out of routine and she forgets. So that's okay.
Great.
So,
Cool.
all right. And you guys saw that we have, I think I've seen all of you guys pop up at one spot or another in our messenger chat.
Mhm.
Okay. So if you have questions, and that's where I'll tag you guys with stuff. Am I correct in understanding that you guys none of you really super active on Facebook right now?
Not really.
super. Mm-mm. I
Yeah,
go in there just to check my work posts and then back out again. I get overwhelmed quickly.
Exactly.
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah. So, okay. Well, that's what I thought. So that's why I figured if we just keep it to the messenger, I
Yeah.
mean, the
I'd
threads
love
can
that.
get a little unwieldy, but it doesn't matter. We can connect. On the other place, we don't connect. So
Mhm.
that's the whole point. So,
Well, and
Yep.
Messenger is how I'm on Messenger quite often, but not on Facebook itself. Messenger
Yes.
is how Brian and I communicate, and he'll call me all kinds of different times of the day.
Mm.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so, yeah, and the last housekeeping thing is, if you have a young person that knows how to do it, you can bookmark the lesson site to your homepage. I know, Andrea.
I've not figured that out yet.
Camden- Ask Camden to do it for you.
Yeah,
He probably
will.
knows. Yeah,
yeah.
Easy.
because you probably don't want to give Connor your phone.
Oh, Connor will help me too. He's good.
He won't give you 10 pictures of his.
No, that's Ella. Ella will change my ringtones and my and it will be all for her. When she
Right.
calls me, I'll get a special ringtone, and when she texts me, I'll get a special sound. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
Keith renamed himself in my Snapchat as
Yeah.
my favorite son.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah. I got renamed Boss Mom.
Oh my.
Yeah. Boss
you
lady,
go.
something like that. The boss.
Are you on-
George, you can't touch my phone after a certain age.
It depends on
Good
the
luck with
personality.
that. Good luck with that.
Yeah, he already knows about it. He gets it for me first thing in the morning. He's like, "Oh, you forgot your phone." And he tries to hand it to me. I'm like,
This,
"Oh dear."
this appendage of yours.
Yes,
yeah.
this thing that you are supposed to have.
Oh, big yawn.
Awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I was sleeping.
All right, guys. I am super glad that you are doing this with me because it's way more
Likewise.
fun this way.
Definitely. It's that
So-
accountability partner thing.
Exactly. Exactly. So, all right. Well, have a
All
good
right.
night, guys.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.